Hello, this is Narain water level controller model WLC19, which can be used for monoblock and open well submersible pumps. This product is suitable up to 2 HP motors. So this is mainly used for the domestic applications wherein you will have a sump or an underground tank and an overhead tank, and the motor lifts water from the sump to the overhead tank. So for all those kind of motor applications, you can make use of Narain water level controller model WLC19. So as you can see, it has 3 levels of water level indicators in the sump and 4 levels of water level indicator in the overhead tank. Then it has the flow indicators, it has a need button, and also a motor on indication and dry run indication. So the features are listed on the sticker here. So we'll first look at the connections which has to be made with this particular water level controller. So you can just have a look at the connectors at the bottom. The first two connectors are incoming phase and neutral. So this has to be the power carrying or the load wires, and hence the first 4 connectors are the load carrying wires. So the first two are incoming phase and neutral, which are the load carrying wires. Then the connectors 3 and 4 has to be connected to the motor. So if the motor you are using is of the monoblock variety, then the motor cables have to be connected directly to connectors 3 and 4. But if you are using an open well submersible motor, so your motor will come with a starter which is similar to this. The open well submersible motor will have a starter which is similar to this, and this starter will in turn have the incoming phase neutral and the motor cables connected to the next 3 terminals. So what you need to do if you are using this kind of a starter is, the wires which are coming out of connectors 3 and 4 should be going as the input to your starter. So that is connectors number 1 and 2. So I repeat again, if you are using an open well submersible motor which has a starter like this, the cables from connectors 3 and 4 will go as the input to your starter, to connectors number 1 and 2. Then of course the motor cables will be connected to connectors 3, 4 and 5. I repeat again, if it is a monoblock motor, the motor cables can be directly connected to 3 and 4. If you are using an open well submersible starter, the connectors 3 and 4 should go as an input to your motor starter. Then once this connection is done, you are left with the sensor wire connections. So Narain water level controller model WLC19 will have the bullet sensors given as part of the package. There will be 8 numbers of these bullet sensors. So 4 will be used for the sump and 4 will be used for the overhead tank. So we will look at the connections now. So first we will start with the sump sensor connections. The first sensor should be placed at the bottommost point of the sump, which will almost sit on the floor of the sump, and every bullet sensor will have the mold on one end, the sensor part, and the other part will be a wire. Okay, so the mold part should go and sit at the bottommost point in the sump, and the wire should be connected to the common point here initially. Okay, the first common point. Then you will have to place the next sensor just above the motor if it is a submersible motor, or just above the footwall if it is a monoblock motor, and the wire from that sensor should be connected to sump low here. Okay. Then the next sensor will be placed at the 6 inches above the low sensor, and the wire coming out should be connected to sump medium, right? And then next will be the sump high sensor, which will be placed at around 60% level in the sump, and the wire coming out of it will be connected to sump high. So the reason for placing this at the high level for the sump at 60% is that it will make sure the motor switches on even if the water is just like below 60%. Okay. Then we will now move ahead with the sensor connections to the overhead tank. The first will be the common for the tank. The common for the tank again should be connected at the bottommost point, almost at the floor of the tank, and the wire coming out of this sensor should be connected to the common for the tank, this one. Okay. Then it is a tank low, which has to be placed at around 50% mark, the next sensor, and should be connected to tank low, which is here, right? Then you have the next set of sensor which is placed at 75% mark, and that wire coming out of this sensor should be placed at tank medium. Then the last sensor will be placed at the topmost point, and the last sensor, this is the point wherein you want the motor to switch off when the water reaches this sensor point, and the wire coming out of this sensor should be connected to tank high. Okay, so these are all the connect sensor wires which you will have to take care. The first will be common, sump low, sump medium, sump high. Similarly common for the tank, tank low, tank medium, tank high. So these are all the sensor connections. Once these connections are made, the only connection that is left is the bypass switch. So as you can see, there is this two-way connector which is given for the bypass here at the back side of the water level controller. So this connector is given just in case if our water level controller fails and you want to switch on the motor manually. So what you need to do is you will have to take an MCB or a 32 amp DP switch. So I have taken an MCB here. This MCB is a 10 ampere capacity and a C curve which is used for motors. So you can either place an MCB or a 32 amps DP switch. What you need to do is you will have to take one wire from one of the terminals and connect it to the one point of the MCB or switch, and the wire coming out of the second point should go to the other point of the switch. The idea is pretty simple. If these two wires are interconnected or shorted, that is when the motor will begin to run manually, and if they are disconnected, the motor will switch off. So now that I have connected this bypass switch to the MCB, if I switch on the MCB, even if the water level controller is turned off, the motor will still run and it will work in the manual mode. Okay, and I switched it off, the motor switched off, I switch it on again, the motor continues to run. This is just like a manual operation. So another important point which you will have to make a note is the starter MCB should always be in the on position. So our water level controller will periodically provide supply to the starter, and based on the supply the motor turns on and off. So then once this is done, we will quickly have a look at the operation of our water level controller. So I've turned on the power supply. In order to switch on the water level controller, you will turn on the switch here. As soon as you turn the switch on, you will see all the lights blinking thrice. Yep. This is next you will see the operation. So once everything is full, this is how the LEDs appear. So the sump is completely full now, and the tank is also full. So once the tank is full, you will notice the three lights glowing, and the last light is the tank empty indication, which is not glowing. So the last light or the LED will glow only when the tank is empty. You can read it as a empty indication. So now we will quickly look at the operation. So once the water level in the tank gets empty, so when it comes below 50% mark, the motor switches on, and you can see the flow indicators glowing, and the tank continues to fill up, right? So once the tank fills up, that is when you see the motor the motor turned off and the tank fills up. So the next case would be to see what happens if the water level in the sump gets low when the motor is running. So we will generate that case scenario as well. The motor is on, you can see the motor running, and we will now take empty the sump. So we are now emptying the sump. The motor is running and the water in the sump gets empty. Even then the motor switches off. It will always wait for the water to fill inside the sump. When the water fills inside the sump, that is when the motor again starts, and it will automatically switch off when the tank fills up, right? So this is the next case, and then assume a case wherein the tank is like 75% empty and you decide to fill up the tank manually. This usually happens when you get to know that there won't be a power supply for the next couple of hours, and you decide to fill up the tank. So what you need to do then is, so for the water level controller to automatically switch on, you will have to wait for the water to get empty. Else if you want to manually switch on the motor and fill up the tank, you can make use of this need button. Pressing this need button will immediately switch on the motor, and as the tank fills up, it will automatically switch it off. You can just have a look at that as well. So now the tank is filling up. Once the tank fills up, the motor switches off. So this is another aspect now. So this is all the comprehensive features of this particular water level controller. So I hope this is all the features which are usually required for a domestic household, and I hope all the this one is clear. And then if you have any further queries with respect to this particular product, you can always reach us on 99722 I repeat, it's 99722 You can even visit our website. Our website address is www.narayanelectrics.in. I repeat, it's www.narayanelectrics.in. You can also purchase these products on our website as well. Thanks for watching this video.